Market update here on the 15th. So we got that big move that I talked about in the last video. Worked out perfectly. Again, a few videos ago, I had this as still in a fourth wave. But if you want to know how Elliott wave works, I had an invalidation level above 370.50. So when I woke up that morning and we got above there, I sold my puts for a loss. So I took a pretty big, not a big loss, but a decent sized loss considering I bought those at like 368, 367. But I immediately flipped bullish because I knew that at that point, this is probably a second wave and we were starting a third wave. And it worked out perfectly because I would flip bullish and then we got a huge move to the upside. So invalidation levels, you're going to hit those a lot if you're using Elliott wave because you're not always going to be right. This isn't perfect. And it just shows you where you're wrong. If you stick to where you're wrong at and you take that loss, and you know the other solution or the other scenario is probably going to play out, you can make a lot of money just based on knowing where to get stopped out. So anyway, we got stopped out. We come up here to 383. Third wave is finished. It should be finished. That was right around the target that I had. And I think that we just completed wave A on Friday. This took about 3 days, so I would expect this to take about the same length. So maybe sometime on Tuesday or late Monday, we come down here to 375, and that will be the fourth wave. And then I would be looking for, again, another 5-wave move up here. Probably looking at the next Friday or early in the week right before tech earnings. I haven't looked at the exact dates, but it's probably going to go right into tech earnings. We also have the Fed talking. So this is setting up for a massive move down. If it plays out exactly like this, if you go to 390, you can see too the second wave was very shallow. It went to didn't even get to the 0.38 fib. So that usually means a fourth wave is more deep. So if we go to 390, I would be looking for something probably at least to the 0.38 fib, which is 345. Potentially the gap fill here at 332, which is the 0.5 fib. So get ready for a crazy next month. Should be some volatility coming back to the market, and it'll probably return right around tech earnings. So that's all I say about QQQ. It's going to be choppy early in the week, but a move up probably midweek. Let's go to Tesla next. Tesla. So I pretty much eliminated the regular chart I talked about in the past videos. Log chart seems more accurate. And I think that we did complete the third wave here, fourth wave here, and then this move right here. Currently, this was wave 1 in my opinion. And so we're looking for a second wave. This only retraced to the 0.38 fib. It did not fill the gap. No matter how close it was, it never filled the gap. So there's two possibilities here. First possibility, we'll do the bearish one first, is this is A, this is B, and we get a C wave down here. Either going into earnings or after earnings. Fill the gap, come down here to like 253, which is the 1.61 fib. That's the first possibility. You can call this a B wave pretty easily. If you look at it, the fourth wave would come back into this move right here, and then we go higher. It barely breaks above this first wave. But I think that just like QQQ, you can have shallow second waves. Unfortunately, if you're trying to go long here in this box, which is demand zone, it didn't come all the way back down here. And I think there's a very good possibility that we're looking at a nested wave 3, which means that 1, 2, and then right here we have 1, 2, let's see, this would be 3, something like this, it'd probably go higher than that too. It's probably going to do something crazy because of earnings. But the target minimum would be 315. And let me get this on smaller time frames. So we have 1, 2, then this would end up being it's hard to say which one's going to play out because I do think that we have like one more move higher in QQQ, but this looks like a very good possibility that it is a nested move. So 1, 2, and then I would be looking at this as probably looking at third wave. Yeah, we just got outside of the parallel line right there, so third wave. And again, this is probably not going to be price target wise if I just do it normally how I do it. We're probably going to get some kind of gap up. So this is a fourth wave right here. Then we should be looking for projected to go to maybe like 290 on the next move higher. And then that would be the overall third wave. And then we'd be looking for a fourth wave pullback. And then a fifth wave higher. And it's got to get to 315. Remember that. 315 is the minimum it can go. So that could all play out this week. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, pullback 4, and then a fifth wave higher. And again, with earnings, there's probably going to be some kind of move that's going to go like this, and you can't predict that. So just know that 315 would be the target. And the overall move that we're trying to get to is 345. So if that plays out like that, let's say we do go to 315, then it's probably going to pull back when QQQ drops because it's got to get to 345. So again, I think that the bearish scenario makes more sense, but this nested scenario also looks like a very good possibility. I don't know which one's going to play out, so I'll leave you those two scenarios. For me personally, I sold some puts at 260, 255 for August 18th, and then I bought some puts at like 260, 265. I don't remember the strikes for August 18th, same strike. And then I also bought a call or two, all for a credit. So my thinking is we're probably not going to get below 250. And so my sold puts will be good if we dip. If we dip, I'm going to make a bunch of money on those puts. And if we go higher, I sold those for a credit. So I'll still make money and I won't lose money on the puts and I'll make money on the calls. So you can see how you can set it up if you know exactly where the stock is most likely going, 95% of the time. So that's Tesla, SPY. Whenever this third wave ends, I would look for a pullback to 423 potentially, which is the gap fill, and then another move higher after that. Again, I haven't been following SPY that much, so I don't go into depth on it right now, but I will in the future for sure. AMD, I traded this one. I bought it around 113, 114 because I knew that there was going to be another move higher to at least 120. Ended up going to 122. But I think that this is ready to go down now. The only other possibility would be something like that. But I think that it's more than likely it's going to do down here to this demand zone. Maybe short of it, but probably going to 95 bucks. So I sold around 120, and I'm looking for a pullback on that one. Microsoft, same situation as Tesla, really. It's either finishing up a B wave here, where I'm looking at it like this, maybe even down here to 316, or this is a first wave, and we're going to see a pullback, 332, something like this. We zoom out here. This is finishing up. Let's see. It looks like it's finishing up the third wave here. So, yeah, we have the third wave ending right here, fourth wave, fifth wave. This will only be the overall third wave. So, it's kind of a jumbled mess right now, but expect this to maybe go to like 390, 400 for a third wave, way above the all-time highs, and then dip pretty hard. So, let's say it goes to 390. Could dip back down here to 327, maybe even like 310, something like that. So we'll see which one plays out early in the week, but this could be wave one, and who knows, to be honest. It could go either way. Apple, same thing. We're probably going to see something like this. And maybe overall, something like this. And hopefully get this 175 gap fill here eventually. So I'm playing all of this basically off QQQ going to 390, which is not that much higher. That's only like 2.5%. So again, I don't think most of these names have much upside short term. Let's go over the dollar, and then that's going to be it. I was going to do meta, but I haven't really gone over the chart that much. So the dollar. So you can see here, 5-wave move, in my opinion. Pretty big dip here. I think that this is either going to be a B wave, but more than likely it's going to come all the way down here to 89.90. That is, or maybe 93. 93, I think there's a gap fill here maybe. No, that's just my target. But again, after this move is finished, you can see the dollar is setting up for a big move higher after this finishes. The 0.5 fib is sitting right around 90. So whatever this is, ABC, I think it's more like an ABC move. The next move higher is going to be crazy. It's going to be, let's say this happens in maybe October, maybe later than that. I would be looking for this is probably going to be crazy. It's probably maybe like 150 on the dollar. So this is most likely a B wave right here, and then the dollar is going to go higher, and that's how we're going to get a crazy crash. So let me zoom out a little bit. So this is basically like an ABC move back up here to the top, and then you're probably going to get hyperinflation after that. So we have we'll get deflation here, and then probably get hyperinflation when the dollar goes to shit. So get ready for deflation maybe later this year, 2024. But right now, still looking for 93 on the dollar. I'll leave it at that. That's the update for this weekend. The next month can be kind of crazy, so get ready to trade down here eventually. But get ready for another move higher short term into earnings and into the Fed. If you like the content, make sure you subscribe for more updates. Hit that like button for me, helps the channel. And I'll probably do another video tomorrow on some of the growth stocks. All right, have a good one.